They say home is where the heart's at. For Homelander, I think he left it somewhere else. All right, guys, Brent here back with Geek to cover all things Marvel, DC, Lord of the Rings, anime, gaming, Star Wars, and more. This time, The Boys, Season 4, Episode 4, Wisdom of the Ages. Well, I'm going to pass it off to someone far wiser than me. The man, the myth, the marvel. Your thoughts?
Yo, Homelander, we know he got problems, but he got problems. Like this
His problems
man,
have problems.
this man went home to Thanksgiving dinner and just completely wrecked the place in the most Homelander way possible. So I definitely think Anthony Starr should be nominated for something because he is on point with his everything, his sadistic tendencies, his twitches, everything. Like again, he is one of the best villains I've seen in a long time. I'm with it. I need more.
I mean, it's been refreshing. It's been exciting. This show hasn't taken a step back from anyone's perspective whatsoever. If you're saying this show has been regressing, I'd hazard a guess you didn't watch this episode because this episode was absolutely phenomenal. It showed that Homelander is insanely strong, but at the same time, Barbara and her team were stronger. They defeated him psychologically and emotionally, and the damage that has been caused to him, he is sure as heck not over. And he's working on processing and eliminating names that have caused him any kind of distress or emotional problems throughout the years. And as all things are shown in this universe, social media is king. Throughout this episode, we saw that whichever side social media was being played for, you had the powerful hand in this episode. And Firecracker, being who she exactly says she is, was someone who used social media to its utmost potential, albeit in the most heinous way possible. Bringing up anyone's medical records, I don't care the decision on the matter, it's not for me to say, but bringing up anybody's medical records in any context whatsoever is a heinous move, especially in this capacity. So for Starlight to do the thing she did, I don't really feel all that bad. How about you?
No, I don't feel bad at all. Look, she did what she needed to do, and she made some stuff happen, and it was absolutely ridiculous. So there's a lot of character arcs being thrown around in this. So again, with Annie January, Starlight, her fall from grace, more or less, is what this has been. She has been working hard to kind of build everything back up to Starlight Foundation, and then they found a way to cut her down. Sage specifically found a way to cut her down, and she used Firecracker for that purpose. Like everybody's got a part to play, and the fact is that she put her into place. She played her part. She took everything thrown at her, even when she had, oh, I'll post it myself, and posted her, her little escapades online without thinking twice about it, and it just came out and apologized, and everybody's like, oh, we forget, like it's okay, you're good. So that, like, yo, master play, master play, and they took Starlight down a few notches. Like I don't know if she's gonna be able to recover this season from any of this. So Starlight is burnt pretty much at this point. All right, let's get into Kimiko and Frenchie, their stuff. Both of their backstories are kind of weak, but I think they need a little something more. Frenchie, again, he's dealing with the struggle of, was it Colin,
Yeah,
and
Colin.
that he killed the parents, and he's always playing with broken toys, so to speak, for lack of a better term. And he finally admits the truth that he killed the parents and the family or whatever. And the guy beat him, wanted to kill him. It was just like, hey, don't come near me ever again. So we got to see how this is going to turn out. But Frenchie has just been doping himself up, trying to forget about stuff and enjoying the passion in the process. What did he do to make himself not think about it? But he finally came clean from it, and I don't know if it's going to absolve him of anything else, if he's going to feel better after this. But Frenchie could go either way right now. Kimiko, she found somebody that she apparently had kidnapped, possibly, and brought to the camp because that's what she was told to do. This girl named Tala. I think, and Tyler's trying to get back at her. Hit her with a grenade launcher. It's like she's going in. I don't know what's going to happen with that. It just seemed like it kind of fell flat. You got any thoughts on if that's going to pick up anymore? Or
I mean, it's falling flat, but it's also falling flat in comparison to the high stakes chess match that we're having between Sister Sage and the boys. Because as great as the boys are at getting the job done, Sister Sage has been able to outplay just about everybody. And Kimiko is a character whose story needs to be told. She hasn't had a story since what, season two? It's been
mm-hmm.
a minute since we focused on her as anything other than the girl Frenchie's longing after. But unfortunately, I think those two are going to end up getting together physically because they're both in a very emotionally weak and vulnerable state. Frenchie just got pushed off. He's going to end up on drugs. Kimiko was already drinking. So now adding this extra emotional stress on top of it, not going to make things even better. And then with everything else going on, we had the whole scene with Ezekiel popping off with your boy, Billy Butcher. I know you have a theory you want to talk about. And if you were on our live stream, you know exactly who brought up this theory that I think has significant credibility that I can't do justice. So without further ado, we'll talk to the people.
So I was talking with some of the guys on the live stream, stuff like that, and two in particular said Clay and Pharaoh, and Mason was in there too. We were all talking about stuff. The first part was Clay. We were talking about Butcher. Again, Butcher's got some stuff going on in his head. He's got a parasite. He's having hallucinations. It looks like he's talking to people that aren't there. So we're kind of speculating, good and bad. So his former lady is kind of the good angel, kind of telling him to take care of the boy and do stuff. Then we got Kessler, who we don't see Kessler interact with anybody or anything outside of Butcher. Could be the devil on his shoulder, so to speak, and no one else has really been talking to him. So that's kind of a thing that's being played around with as far as what's going to happen. Um, but Pharaoh, we were talking about Billy Butcher's powers when he's dealing with Ezekiel. Like out of nowhere, we get an explosion, blood everywhere, blood on the ceiling, like absolutely fantastical. How did it happen? I started theorizing about the parasite doing something or causing something. And then we start looking up some of the different things, toxophagia, toxoplasma, something with causing, and again, I have to go back and remeasure something causing like the schizophrenia, which is something that he's having right now, and kind of setting him up. He's having all the symptoms of this particular parasite possibly getting some type of powers and affecting him in a way that's causing him to do damage. So we don't know how he took out Ezekiel. We don't know if the parasite came out and did something. We don't know if the parasite caused something to happen, i.e., whether it be some type of poison or venom or something like that. We don't know if it activated Butcher's latent powers, so with that causing him to more or less, react because he was out. So cause him to instinctively react, reflex and stuff like that, and throw a killing blow, which had to be extreme power because one punch explosion or something like that. Like there's got to be more to it than that. But these are excellent theories that we've just been kind of bouncing around with, and it's like, what is going on with Butcher? What is his deal? What is it with this parasite? Is this hyping him up even more? And what did the V do to him to get him to this point where he's got this black mass tumor kind of growing on his head and these fantastical powers that are coming out while he's unconscious?
Be sure to drop your theory in the comments below. Who knows? We may end up talking about it, giving it some more credibility. But as far as the rest of the episode goes, from there we also learned about Sister Sage and her ultimate weakness of things. Because like also A Train, I should skip too far ahead. A Train, he had his moment. He finally kind of came to. He kind of realized that he can do good. And he ultimately, when Huey asked, grabbed that vial of Compound V. Unfortunately, Huey intended to use it on his father, which is something we'll get into in just a second. A Train and him, though, seem to have this moment where there's
Peace.
some level of respect and forgiveness between the two, which is 4 seasons coming. It's been a moment. And then we go back to Sister Sage, who is, as you eloquently were putting it, was doing a straight up lobotomy because her brain regrows and reheals all the time. If she got shot in the brain, she would survive. If you shot her in the heart, she would die just like everybody else. And she so eloquently put, but having her brain being lobotomized helps
He
her to enjoy life,
he
which is
scrambled her
wild.
stuff. Like he made spaghettios out of her brain meat.
And then she went straight up from being the smartest person in the room to just being like all of us, making, silly jokes about two people having some good old fashioned fun. And everything continues on more of the same. But that last scene involving Huey's dad, talk to the folks about it.
Yo, we finna get some stuff with Huey. Huey got the V, left his jacket unattended. His mom had walked in after he had pulled it out and put it back in his pocket, deciding not to give it to his father. But somebody gave it to him. And right now we're thinking it's her because she was the only one in the room. She's the only one that probably saw it happen. He left to go get some air, and next you know, the V was going through the tube, and it woke up, or caused body spasms. It's doing something to Huey's dad, and he's finna be a mess. And if you saw in the trailer, which our people in our chat had to go back and remind me, like, hey, go back and look at the trailer. Look at this minute marker here. There's a scene where we see somebody in a bloody hospital gown. So we don't know what's happening or what happened in particular, but I'm definitely thinking some nurses and doctors came to the rescue to see what's going on because he's hooked up the monitors of he's having a reaction, and some people are gonna get dead. And Huey Senior is gonna have some powers and some stuff's gonna happen. Don't know what kind, but it's gonna get real violent, real bloody, real quick in their hospital room.
It's going to be an absolute slugfest all the way through. It'll be so interesting to see how the rest of the characters get covered moving forward. That being said, I don't really have anything else for this episode. Thank you so much for everyone who hung out with us on our live streams. We'll always try and make it as lively as entertaining for y'all. Tonight, you guys were the real heroes. Any final thoughts pertaining to this episode, Will?
No, I just again want to see what happens next. What's going on with this parasite is my biggest question. Something that happened, like again, this is what drives a story. So when you're watching shows that don't have a good story, that
Yeah,
aren't
like
explaining things, this is how you get intrigue. I'm curious about the parasite. What's going on with Butcher? How is the hallucinations affecting him? Huey's dad's got freaking powers. What's gonna come of that? That's a freaking cliffhanger. What's gonna happen with Frenchie? What's gonna happen with Kimiko's friend? Mother's Milk, is he gonna continue to get everybody freaking on track, or is stuff's gonna fall out? Annie done lost her freaking marbles, beating the crap out of Firecracker. Is Firecracker dead or not? I don't know. She's still laying there. I have thoughts. I have things going on that I need answers to. So I cannot wait till next week for the next episode.
And if you want answers and you want them from us, be sure to hit that lovely red subscribe button, logo in bottom right corner, red little box below. If not, we'll be seeing you guys in the next one. Have a good one.